How do you not go broke after becoming rich? Well, by just not being a retard.
When's the last time you admitted to yourself that you're actually a piece of shit?
If you are broke, the reason is probably because you're an arrogant piece of loser.
I've officially decided I'll start avoiding broke people like the pest. Most broke people are either arrogant, stupid, or just lazy and uninspiring, if I may add.
Most people, in my humble opinion, are fucking losers. Why? Because they don't win.
I don't hire people if they're fat as why would I?
Everybody be always saying, Prince, I work so hard, No, you fucking don't. You cannot even do multiple things at the same time.
Number one reason that you are a brokey is because you are a pussy.
Well, guys, it looks like the AMU just never stops giving us different goofy things to laugh at and brand new goobers to just gadoosh the shit out of, because we are back yet again with another new AMU character. And of course, it will be a character that we have never seen before. And you see, in my last video, we covered Vincent Fischer's terrible response to all of the supposed haters, where he not only didn't provide any proof, but was even dumb enough to try to use all of his supposed testimonials as a sign of proof that he actually is who he says he is, and that he's not scamming people out of their money.
That I scam the people that pay me. And I thought that's interesting because the one thing they tend to ignore is the sheer amount of client wins that I have inside my community. The Instagram story highlights filled with people killing it, the news stories I post every single day, the landing page wins inside the Discord, and we're going to check out some of the people that I scammed inside the Six Figure Fitness community. Let's go ahead and break it down. Now, I'm going to pull up my landing page here first. We're going to do a refresh, and we're going to go to some of the newer recent people. A lot of wins, guys, my bad. That I scammed, right? So Luis and Veronica are the first people that I scammed. I told them they make $10,000 a month. They collected $20,000.
And this right here was the only point that I didn't discuss in my last video. Not only because it doesn't prove jack shit, and he could have easily have paid these people to go ahead and say these things, or like we've seen with other AMU contenders, some of these guys will actually make it a part of the early program, so that you have to leave a good review in order to receive the rest of the program. But also because I wanted to go through his whole little list of testimonials and see how many of these downright dipshits were actually coaching. And when I was looking through a lot of them, many of these people didn't even have Instagram accounts anymore where they were doing coaching, and they weren't really doing a whole lot on those accounts, so I'm assuming that they weren't too successful. But there was one goober that really stood out to me, who by the way isn't really successful either, but is a great example of what you get when you actually buy into this guy's bullshit, which is basically just also being a clown on the internet and getting gadooshed. And the man who ended up catching my attention goes by the fucking name Prince Fortunatus. So for the purpose of this video, I'll be referring to him as Princess. And you see, the princess here not only talks like Vince, and has the same little superiority complex that Vincent also has, but as I said, he's also given a testimonial, which was this one right here, where he basically just glazed the ever-living shit out of good old pube head here. Like, we are talking, he was meat riding so hard that he was hanging on to those pubes for dear life.
Coaching alone, how much have you extracted from 4,500 followers in USD, bro?
Well, it depends how you do the math, right? If you do it just directly from the coaching, I would say upwards to $500,000. I always thought it was fascinating because I remember I hit you up. I remember you had your Lambo, and I was like, who's this kid? Like, what the f? Why is he like dragging his nuts in Lambo? It was like, what the f? And then you had like this thing saying, yo, hit me up and I'll show you how to do it. And I was like, let me just try. Hit you up. Or like, boom, yeah, I can teach you how to do your social media marketing. And I was like, I don't even have a big social media account. I only have like 4K because my account got banned. I was like, fuck, he looks inspiring. So let me just, I just paid on the spot. Hop in the call with you. And yeah, you taught me a lot of valuable things. The fact that I was able to make that much money just from these 4,500 followers is mind blowing to me.
So now that you have seen one of the apparent testimonials that Vincent has been trying to use in order to prove that he's actually who he says he is, and now that you've seen the wannabe prince here just slobbing on the pube-headed knob, it's time we take a look at what Vincent's coaching actually ends up getting you and at the finished product that Vincent himself appears to be proud of. And when you look at the princess's profile, you will see a lot of the similar things that you see with all of these alpha males, where he's trying to promote this lifestyle and all of these different things like flexing cars and outfits and just wherever he's going. But along with this, you'll also see these videos right here where he is not only referring to himself as an alpha male, which is just some cringe shit on its own, but he's also trying to flex everything that he's wearing. And during it, the man cannot go more than 2 words without saying fuck, because we all know that if you can say that word as many times as possible in a sentence, then you are undoubtedly just a badass alpha male stud.
Do you think about this iced out Rolex while being in the club? You think I bought this 10K sapphire ring being in the club? Do you think I got this 2.5 grand Christian Dior shirt? I was just in the deal 2.5 grand. It's a shirt, but I didn't get that in the club. As an alpha male, you can't be in the club all the time chasing pussy. I'll be walking in some place in Miami. All of a sudden, random people be talking to me. They were like, "Hey, yo, bro, like, what do you do?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm on latency. How much you make?" Probably they don't even ask that question usually because y'all can always see. I mean, your shirt costs 1.5 grand, tailor made. Pants cost $600. Christian Dior shoes cost 1.5K. Christian Dior belts cost another 1.5 grand. Rolex watch. I mean, they already know what's up. And people will literally be approaching me because they can see someone entered the room and that's an interesting person. I always talk about being the most interesting person in the room because if you're the most interesting person in the room, you attract energy. It comes towards you. People will be looking at you. You'll be the center of attention.
So as you can clearly tell, this guy is being as douchey as he possibly can and is obviously just really insecure and feels the need to constantly try and prove himself. And this is only one section of his content, because when he's not flexing all of this different shit and just trying to look like this badass alpha male, he is also giving some of the worst advice that I think I have ever heard. Like, this advice has to be repeated from Pubehead himself, because I don't know how else it could be so fucking stupid. And I have seen multiple shorts from the princess here where he is just saying really dumb shit, but there are a few that especially just caught my attention. Like this one right here, where he claims that humility is for losers, and that rich people don't need to have humility, and the reason that you're broke is because you have humility.
Humility is for f***ing losers. You know, I got guys, they're like, "Prince, you're such an arrogant piece of shit." And I'm like, would you rather be an arrogant piece of shit or a broke piece of shit? If I had a son and he would come up to me like, Dad, I need to be humble," I'd be like, fucking smack the shit out of him. Gotta grow up, son. If you want to be the best, you need to believe that you are the best. You need to believe you're better than the competition. That is the only way to win. And if you're a winner, you will think like that.
And at first when I saw something like this, I thought that it had to be satire, but then I remembered that this downright dumbass paid Vincent Fischer to be his coach. So this is dead ass serious. And this quote kind of explains everything about this guy, because he is an arrogant shithead and is out here trying to be a life coach when he's just telling people not to be humble and to basically be assholes because he thinks it's the only way to win, when that is all just bullshit and he just wants a reason to act like a dickhead. And there's one thing that I also want you to notice from that clip, and that is the fact that in a lot of these different shorts you're about to see, it looks like that he's using a green screen behind him and he's always making the background blurry to kind of try and hide it, because I guarantee that this clown doesn't have anywhere near the type of money he claims he does, but instead is just putting on this big facade to try to get people to sign up to his bullshit coaching. And when he's not making quotes like that, he's also making these different posts right here where he's stating that money is basically everything and is defending the fact that it's basically all he cares about.
For all the people who claim, "Oh, money's not important to me," comment below what the else is important to you then. Let's say you say family. So I just bust into a random bitch, have children, just make sure they don't starve, be in the life a little bit, be an example. And what's so special about that again? Right? Everyone can do that. Or health. So you're telling me I just need to watch what I eat, run around a little bit, just make sure I have a six-pack like I always do. And that's it? Like, what the are you gonna do with your life? Are you gonna be the best in something else? If you're not, then make as much money as you possibly can.
And as you can see, that during the middle of that, there's obviously some daddy issues going on with him, and that's probably why he made Pubehead his daddy instead. And I can't believe that Pubehead was even stupid enough to use this guy as one of his testimonials. Because if anything, him making a post like this just shows how shitty of a job he's doing at this. He is basically telling all of his potential life coaching clients that the only thing he gives a shit about is money, so why would you want to sign up with him when all he cares about is the paycheck you're giving him? So he's not even good at this whole fake guru online coaching thing in general, and is overall just a complete dipshit, which seems to be the type of people that Vincent Fischer is constantly duping into giving him money. And this is just the beginning of the stupid shit that this guy blurts out of his mouth, because on top of all of this, when he's not just giving some of the worst life advice that I have ever seen, he's also just calling pretty much everyone on the planet a fucking loser.
Most of your friends are basic, unambitious, brokey losers. If your friends want to pick you up in fucking Lambos, you gotta switch them up. You gotta be like, yo, where the Lambo? Or get your own Lambo. This is you right now. You're waiting for the ball to drop. You're like, yay, in 2 minutes it's gonna be the new year. Newsflash, it's been 2 minutes later and you're still a loser. You've not changed anything about your life. You bitch, you're still messaging guys like me, waiting to be railed. You need to become the guy who is impatient. The rich are impatient. They work now. We're not waiting for anything to drop. We make shit drop. Do never wait. Be impatient. Plan for the new year to come and to become more successful than you ever have. That's how you need to think.
If you are broke, the reason is probably because you're an arrogant piece of shit loser. Let me explain. We live in a day and age where it's easier than ever to make money. Just invest in yourself, pay someone, pay a mentor to teach you how it works. But most people, in my experience, they think they know better. Oh, Coons, I'm just going to do this business. I don't need any help. I know exactly what I'm doing. No, you don't know what you're doing, and that's why you stay broke. You understand? If you want to be rich, invest in yourself. Invest in mentors who will show you the way. Humble yourself, and that's how you make money.
A few moments later.
Humility is for f***ing losers.
So as you can clearly tell, we have the IQ of a fucking walnut out here, to where we can't even keep our message straight on if humble is a good thing or being humble's a bad thing, and he's just flip-flopping nonstop. But it's also incredible that this guy is literally what you would get if Andrew Tate and Vincent Fischer had a baby, to where he's got the superiority complex on lockdown and uses a lot of the same Andrew Tate sayings like brokies and all, but he also took Vincent Fischer's dressing style of wearing things that just don't fit you whatsoever. So he already is as big of an AMU wannabe clown as you can possibly get. But along with what you just watched, he also refers to everyone else as being arrogant, and that is the reason that they are also broke. And then on top of that, he then turns around and says some of the most arrogant shit that I've ever heard by stating that he's going to be avoiding broke people like they're pest, and that he's only hanging out with rich people. So the guy is literally a walking contradiction.
Imagine being so f***ing arrogant that you see people your age buying Rolexes, buying supercars, buying outlandish shit, and it doesn't even make you feel, what should I say, inferior or stupid that you don't have that shit. That's the problem, and that's why people don't become successful, because they look at that stuff and they're like, you know, whatever, fuck that shit. The rich aren't happy anyways. Yeah, you're stupid if you think that. I've officially decided I'll start avoiding broke people like the pest. Most broke people are either arrogant, stupid, or just lazy and uninspiring, if I may add. So I only want to associate with rich people now. You know, the higher class. And you should do, because then you can learn something. Do something better with your life. Not stay on a brokey peasant level. So from now on, if you aren't rich, or if you can't make me rich, I'll avoid you like the pest. Unless it's a hot shake.
So there you have it. Apparently, he's just avoiding all of the broke people like they're just inferior pests. When I'm pretty sure that he's broke as well if he's doing all of this shit for attention online to try to make some money. And this is just as pathetic as it gets, and the type of people that Vincent Fischer is recruiting and actively trying to use as proof that his coaching works. Where you end up like this clown right here, ranting about random shit, being a douchebag, and basically getting nowhere except getting made fun of. And this this clown has many more posts that we'll probably cover in the future because he is just such a dumbass. But I think that is enough for one day when it comes to looking at Vincent Fischer's lover and prodigy. And it really just puts it into perspective how much of a joke all of these different AMU members actually are. But if you enjoyed, please drop a sub and a like and join the Saints Mafia, where we are staying on all of these different goopers' heads. And I'm out, watching a Vincent Fischer clone try to make his way into the AMU. And peace.
If you still play video games, just understand you're a fucking loser. You telling me instead of leveling up in life, you chose to level up in a stupid ass video game? You should get your dad to beat the shit out of you and throw out every single video game that you love so dearly.